Hi, this is Cindy from VintageToNew again, and I went ahead and prepared my signatures and got those papers in just like we talked about. The only thing that I didn't show you is I had done that sandwich wrap paper with the food dye also, and I love it. I love how it sounds, looks really cute. You can see through it when it's back this way. So there's that. So then one thing I was going to add was dictionary pages, and I went back to my formula that we talked about before using either Mod Podge or matte gel, a little bit of titanium white paint, and then that little dot of pink, you know, that you can add in if you want just that little bit of color. So I thought I would just bring you along as I do my dictionary pages. So I'm going to set this one aside to dry. When I took these out of the dictionary, I took them out, so that they stayed together. I'm going to put them in the spine this way, but we have to reinforce this little center spot right here. So we'll be doing that too. So, and I also use this bigger brush. I have my good watercolor brush, but I do not want to use it on this stuff. So I thought, well, let's try this little cheapy sponge brush, and it seems to work really good. So I'm happy with that. So just give it a little, make it how you want it to be. I still want to be able to see that it's a dictionary, but don't necessarily want people reading all the definitions. So, and the matte gel, it needed just a tiny, I mean, literally the tiniest bit of water to make it more spreadable. So that's what I did. I added on my sponge brush just a little bit and then kind of mixed it in. So, and we're probably going to add all kinds of things on these pages. So it doesn't have to be Picasso, thank goodness. So down like so. I really love that little, just the tiniest hint of pink, because it goes so well with the roses. So I'm going to use my hair dryer to dry that and do the other sides, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I've continued working along. So when it dries, it becomes just a little bit more transparent, so you can just hit certain spots if you want to with a little bit more, if you want just a little better coverage. But remember, we're not trying to white out the entire page. And then when I was talking about the recipe for this, in case you don't go back and watch the video, I don't remember, did I mention that I put a little bit of baking soda in it to give it that rougher texture that gesso has? Because basically what we're trying to accomplish here is gessoing our pages. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side. Because we're putting them in the signature, both sides will show throughout in the front of your signature and in the back of your signature, if that makes sense. So just going along, giving it a little prettiness. I think it looks really nice. And I think sometimes the words can almost just be a distraction more than, you know, you don't necessarily have to worry about inappropriateness in a dictionary, but in books you do. You might not really want to highlight a certain word in your journal, so don't pick that dictionary page, but This is just to make it pretty. So, and to add that little bit of color. So, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'd love to have a comment if you have one. That would be great. I didn't get these completely dry. Looks like they're kind of sticking together, but that's all right. They'll just be a little more textured. It's really funny. This dictionary's from 1939, and somebody highlighted in it certain words on that page. Amino was circled in a pencil. So there's that, and it looks like I'm gonna have to make just a little bit more stuff. So if you want to stick around and watch, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So last time I just used my pencil to, an old broken one, so I'm gonna need a little bit of matte gel. I like the matte. The shiny isn't my favorite. So you want matte. This will need just a little dot of paint. And I only have a little dot of baking soda left back here, so I'll give it a little of that. Mix it up. See how thick it is? It's really, really, really pasty. And I want it to be able to spread better. Wiping my pencil off. So, the way I added water, I have a little tub of water. I just dipped my sponge in it and gave it a little, just a little bit to just make it barely spreadable. You don't want too much water. That's what really curls your page. Makes it really wavy. You can always iron them. Sometimes putting them, when they're dry, flat down and putting a heavy book on them really helps. Looks like I need another dot of pink paint too. And literally a dot does a lot. So we don't want a ton. This is a really intense pink. So there's that. So did I do the back side of this one? I like the way that side looks. So let me set this up over here. This one could use just a tiny touch more pink. So just go back through and kind of check them as you're finishing up all your stuff. See if it's how you like it. So I was really lucky, not lucky, but it was great. Remember, I had to have one more page for my signatures, and I had just enough of my solutions left in green to do one more page. So I didn't have to mix anymore. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten it pretty close to the same color, but, and it wouldn't have to be the same. You know, in nature, have you ever noticed a flower garden? It has like a million different colors of green and a lot of different colors of pink. We don't want to make everything just super matchy. So I think I'm happy with how all of these look. So let me clean up my mess, and then I'll show you what we're going to do to the center spine. Okay, so this is how we're going to take care of the spine of this page. So let me show you how I did it, and then I'll show you the example. I keep on hand, this is about a 1-inch strip that I just keep wound up on a 3x5 card of coffee stained muslin. I think it was actually an old sheet. So anyway, I'm going to measure down from the top to the bottom. Give it a cut. You could do this with paper also. It doesn't have to be fabric. I just had fabric and I like it, so that's what I'm using. I'm doing it on the side that's the mountain side of the fold here. Not that that really matters, it's just for me easier. I'm using my washable glue stick. Remember the disaster using Fabri-Tac. It's not good for your sewing machine, but the washable school glue is fine. So just center that over that. This just helps hold it down. And then what I did is I took it over and I zigzagged right along the edge. Can you see it? There you go. And then on the inside you see the stitches here, but you have a very nice strong place to put this in the binding of our journal. And so I'll do that on all 4 sheets because we're having 4 signatures. And I think that will be all for this video. And so until next time, this was Cindy from Vintage to New.